Hey guys, so I'm going to be talking a little bit about how to identify and fix a broken form. So the easiest way to identify it is when you configure your form layout, you'll see something like this. You'll be missing all your form sections. Something like label is going to be showing off. There's not going to be any uh, fields to add in the slush bucket, which is a bit concerning. You might see something a little bit different, like there's actually going to be form sections, and one of them is going to be called label, and it doesn't show up on your form, or actually shows up and just says label without any fields on it. So let's jump to the most common use case, which is when you have multiple form sections, you'll have the following schema, which is something that you should become familiarized with if you want to address these issues. So first off, we start with a view, which most of you are or should be familiar with, um, followed by a form record, which ties or acts like a container to multiple form section records. So it should be a one-to-many relationship. At least there should be more than one here. Once that's done, then you'll see a form section that has a one-to-one relationship to a section, and that section has a one-to-many relationship to multiple elements or fields on your form. So how does this translate to the actual form layout? So let's take a look. So here we have our one of our test environments, and we have just a conventional form. The form record that we're talking about, or at least this block, acts as an invisible layer, which is pretty much a container, so it doesn't really have a visible aspect. The same goes for your form section. So imagine, if you will, a dotted line that goes around this whole square right here. That should be your form record. And the same goes for your form section. So again, dotted line around each form section. So you have one form section here, one form section here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 total. Each one of them ties a list of elements to it, or fields, which you can see here. So we'll see how that looks like now if we try to troubleshoot it. So if we go into views, we already identified that that view is the default view. So we drill down in here. Now that we know that this is a multiple form section case, we'll go and look for our table name, which is in the form area. So there should be only one, as we can see in the diagram. So drill down in here, and we see that that form record is tied to multiple form section records, 0 through 6. That's 7 total. Our caption, or our initial form, planning, schedule, conflicts, notes, closure confirmation, and test SNC. Now, we're going to be playing around with our test SNC one, which, if you drill down, now you see I'm in the SysUI form section table, which is this one right here. So I'm right now, I went from here all the way up to this little block right here. If I look at this record, I see that it has a relationship to a SysUI section. If I open that one up, I'll see that I'm now in the SysUI section table, and I see all the elements that are tied to that section. So this is where we're at right now, and we see its multiple relationships to all the fields on the form. So that's pretty much how the form translates in the back end. Now let's take a look at a broken one, shall we? So in this one, I purposely broke one of the form sections, which is our test SNC section. So you can see that's how a broken form section would look if you configure the form layout. Again, you'll see something that looks a little bit off. In this case, it's not that very similar to the screenshot on the beginning of the KB article, because the broken form section is actually the last one, so most of the form actually loaded. However, if I click on it, it actually makes everything disappear from the UI, but not to worry, the form sections are still there. They just were removed visually, not physically. So now here, if we go and do the same steps, we go into our SysUI view table by going to System UI views. We know that the view that we're working with is the default view, so we go into that one. We know it's multiple form sections, so we look for the form record initially, which is there. Now, we have to basically identify where the missing block is. So right now we're dealing with the test SNC section. We see that all the form sections are there. So that's not where the block is. So far this is present, and all these are present. So let's go ahead and drill down into our form section in position 6 or our 7th section total. So if we go in here and we hover over here, we see no preview available. If you look at the XML file, you'll see that the section is actually containing a sysid referencing some record, but the record actually doesn't exist. If you try to drill down into it, you'll get a record not found message. Okay, so basically we know that this is the missing block, possibly these. We don't know yet. Alright, so going back a little bit, we can address this pretty easily. First of all, we should make sure that we know what the sysid of our form section is, or our missing block, which should be right here in your URL. Ignore the 3D, that's actually an ampersand translated into URL formatting. But here 445 DA489 should match our reference section here in order for it to actually reflect properly when we input it. So 445 D8489 looks pretty much similar or exact, so I believe that this is in fact our missing form section. So I'll go into my working environment, export the XML, and go ahead and import that into our not working environment. Should be fairly easy. Find my SysUI section here, import, and voila. Now we have the test SNC now has a caption again. If I drill down into it, there you go. You see that the block is back. But there's one more problem. Now we're still missing the UI elements that are tied to that form section. So very easily we can actually get those elements if we go into the working environment again, export the list for the elements, and ensure that those blocks are also placed back where they should be. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so again, we imported it, we imported the elements, we imported the section. Let's take a look at how this looks now. So it looks good, right? So let's go and take a look at our form, see if it actually is fixed, right? So look here, drill down, and oh no, it's still broken. So there's one more very important step, and I want to make sure you guys are aware of this. Your forms, when you load them the first time, they actually get cached into the environment to make it easier to load the next time around. So this form is actually, or what you're seeing right now is the cached version of our form, not the one that we actually rebuilt in the back end. So in order to get that working again, we actually have to clear the cache. So we run cache.do. That clears the cache for the environment. Again, now I go into the change request form, and I should see my form in place. Voila. Now test SNC it's back, and all its elements are back. So basically, all you have to do is identify what are the missing blocks. There may be more than one, so it may be a little bit tedious to do this process, but it does help keep your environment in sync. You don't want to create new form sections in each different environment. This will cause your environments to become out of sync with there's sysids or corresponding sysids that tie these elements down together. So you want to avoid that so that whenever you apply update sets or you want to make any changes in your environments, you maintain everything in sync. So I hope this helped, guys. Um, leave any comments that you feel could improve this in the comments section if you want. And have a good day. Thanks.